zoomed in.
Okay, we'll call the May 15th, 2019 Barnes County North School Board meeting to order. Recognize our teachers that are here tonight. And turn it over to Mr. Severson for some thank yous.
Congratulations to the students who are Grit Award winners. That's Growth, Integrity, and Teachable Qualities for the month of April. Alex Naylor, Olivia Amdahl, Caleb Fisher, Ian Elston, Madison Gassetti, Ashley McFadgen, Max Fair, Jacob Braun, Luke Samick, Brooke Bundy, Chase Albright, Brooklyn Barkley, Miko Mavre, Gregory Leggy, Quentin Christopher, and Brandon Kobernick. And then on the agenda you got, the original one had last year's star ratings. This is the updated one. Shannon got, for music, Shannon got 1 rating in her vocal, tenor sax and bari sax. Sarah Mueller got a 1 rating in her vocal solo. Lexi Greshik got a 1 rating for her flute solo. And then Shannon Bren, Claire Whelan, Shaylee Muncie, Amanda Reedman, Grace Mueller, Max Fair, Emily Ames, Danielle Revere, and Allison Bren received a 1 rating for their mixed woodwind ensemble. And then thank you and congratulations to Mrs. Bollingberg that she had the K-12. We had our K-6 and our 7-12 music concerts the last couple of weeks, so she did a really nice job. Thank you to that. And then our 4th quarter HERD Award winners, and that's for their hard work, effort, respect, and discipline. Kendra Greshik, Jaden Samick, and Alexa Chadwick.
Okay.
Oh, and then there's a thank you going around from the BCN staff for the massages the other day.
Okay, thanks. Then we'll take a look at agenda. Is there any additions you have, Mr. Severson or Mr. Wilson?
No, I don't think so.
I think under new business, all we want to do is switch around the update on teacher negotiations and non-certified, because we'll probably go to executive session at the end, so we'll just switch those two around in C and D then. And we'll probably move, when you say that, we'll put a board discussion just above the negotiation part, so we'll get that done before we go to negotiations at the end. Okay,
All right, done moving things.
I'm done moving things, yeah. So we would need a motion to approve
I'll
that. Okay.
make the motion
Okay.
if it's.
I'll second it. Oh, I'll second.
Cindy, second.
Oh.
All in favor of approval of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Then we'll look at consent agenda, which takes your minutes, bills, and financial reports, if there's any questions on any of those. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Brett has a motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Lee. That'd be a roll call. Amy?
Chad?
Yep.
Michelle?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Lori?
Yep.
Brent?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Brett?
Yes.
Okay, those are approved. President's report, I have none. Career and Tech, we've had a few meetings in between, so I got a few things we can go over because we had a bunch of meetings in between here. On there, we've talked about the legislative session. The good news out of that, our funding will stay right at the 40% reimbursement rate. We also talked then about how the local assessment's gonna affect all the schools with the addition of Litchfield Marion. We also talked with the grants that cover a lot of our programs. We've got increased dollars in the adult ed program, meaning there'll be additional time in June to help students who need to be ready for fall college. It also brings Jamestown program up to full time, because we handle the Jamestown program out of Valley City for adult ed. We're also informed of the increase in the WIOA grant, which basically covers a couple of our programs. We got up about 70 grand more than we had last year in that grant that we applied for. We have talked about before that Steve Thompson will be the new director. We worked out a 1-year contract with him. That's all been approved. We've hired a new ag instructor at the centers, William Fritz, who comes to us with 17 years of experience. We also hired the 60% time for counselor at Litchfield Marion. The good news that we've just got the other day was that the state is going to fund new and improved programs and expanding programs. That will include the additional time that we've hired on for the counselor, so that it's covered in additional programs. So we will get some funding there that way. We still need to hire 1 instructor to fill our staff for next year. We sent our letter out to Valley State Public to renew our lease, which we leased the center from Valley State Public Schools. We sent that letter out. We also talked with their building and grounds group that they're gonna install new front doors this summer with the ADA openers. We're gonna get a new, one of the furnaces in the auto will be replaced and a walk door in the auto shop. Scott is our custodian. We have one at the vocational center. Came in and discussed the summer project, and so we decided on, he's gonna take out and replant some shrubs in front of the entry to clean up some of that mess out in the front. He's also gonna redo the tile in one of the bathrooms. Last year we had that leak that blew, so he's gonna retile the bathrooms. He's also gonna paint, since you guys were down there, you know kind of what we're doing. Scott's gonna repaint the resource room, the main hallways, the staff room, 2 classrooms, and the welding shop. That's what's on our rotation for this summer to repaint down there. Been working the last few weeks, negotiations at the center, and as of today, the noon meeting today, we tentatively reached an agreement, and we're gonna meet tomorrow to, and hopefully finalize our 2-year agreement there. Tomorrow, from 4 to 6, we're hosting Jeff Bope's retirement party. He's retiring after 40 years at the center and 20 years as the director, so it'd be nice if if anybody had a chance, a board member or so, to show up for that tomorrow afternoon. Any other questions, vocational?
The money you said you're getting from the state for the counselor, more money, is it trickling down to VCN at all, or is that
No,
strictly?
this money, what they had before was, we had the 2 days with Allison last year. If they didn't improve new and expanding programs, we wouldn't get any money for the additional days.
I get you, okay.
But they did approve that, so now we'll get funded for more than just the 2
Oh,
days.
okay, good, good.
So that's just a funding formula for a CTE. Okay, you can have this, Amy, when I'm done. So, activity director, Mr. Severson.
Okay, this ties into you'll be approving a teaching contract later on, down in the new business, but he is going to also be our football coach.
Okay.
That's,
Any other questions AD wise? Okay. And extracurricular?
we haven't met lately.
No, Meg, okay. Mrs. Bitts, technology?
This is my world right now. I'm in my office and you see it in summer mode. I'm outdoors, so nobody sees what it looks like. A couple important things right now. Ending the year is kind of chaotic this year. We did order the 100 new iPads that we're cycling out. We did approve laptop applications. Those messages went out to students and parents if they're getting laptops, and the other ones are getting the iPads. So the minis, we're gonna be, I'm gonna go into classrooms next week, and I'm gonna be pulling those out of the current solution that I use for mobile device management systems, and then releasing those devices so that I can sell them, and then having the kids re-enroll their new devices, so it's like kind of a crazy turnover at the end of the year. So I'm preparing for end of the year and next year at the same time. So, doing the same thing with your devices. I'm actually pulling them out of the MDM, so when you get them back, any apps that you have on them that you installed yourself, you're gonna have to go get again. Okay, and then you're gonna have to log back into your Google account. If you've forgotten your password, see me after the meeting. I know none of you would forget that. So you have to log back into your email and your Google Drive.
Okay, we'll all meet you after the meeting.
Just get the sticky tape.
So, yeah, busy with that. Some of the things we talked about, teachers don't even know about this. I meant to send them an email today, and I haven't gotten a chance to send them an email, but I will tonight, and you guys will hear about it right now. The InFocus J-Touch panels that we spent a lot of time researching and trying out and all that stuff. InFocus made an announcement that they are going to move away from equipment-based and focus more on software-based solutions, which is huge. Like, InFocus has been around forever. So they are discontinuing making those panels and projectors and some other AV stuff. So I would have never, I mean, it's not like an off-brand or not a well-known brand. So, lucky lucky that I'm looking at Mindy, she's chewing her gum a little harder. So here's the deal with that. We did talk about how we were gonna buy like 11 more, I think was the number,
Mhm.
and then put them in classrooms. I'm not comfortable with buying something that's discontinued. They will support the 2 that we have, they have to by law. My hope is that they'll get, and talking with my salesperson, she's very positive about it too, that they'll get acquired, just like other companies do, and you don't really even notice the difference. It happened with our wireless that we used to run before we put the new one in. So if it does get acquired, we will just go along with the plan, purchase them, put them in rooms. If it doesn't get acquired, I'm afraid teachers are gonna have to come back in the fall to their boards, and we are gonna have to research a new solution together. I will have some of that research done, but I don't feel comfortable going and picking that new solution without any input. I mean, we spent a lot of time meeting and making decisions, having teachers try it and pass it around and stuff like that. I think that's important because they're the ones that are using it. So sorry to disappoint you if that comes to that, but I don't wanna disappoint you and put something in here that doesn't work for you either.
Okay, sounds good.
So, that's a little FYI on that.
Do you have any good news?
Yeah, everybody is out of this building after next Friday. It's summertime. I think that's, oh, and then budget and finance, you know about the GNR upgrade that we're doing
Controls,
for
yep.
the building controls, so we'll schedule that between Bud and I, we'll schedule that to get done over the summer.
He said closer to fall.
You said closer to fall?
Yep, Doug did, yep.
Okay, he's the man in charge.
He's gonna bill it out, but he said he would,
Okay,
he would probably won't see him until closer to fall.
okay. Okay. That's it, any questions?
Any questions? Thank you. Building and grounds, transportation, who
Yep.
wants to do?
Well, we did the approval of the bus. We ordered it, it's here. We got it from iTrucks. I think it was 80,725 or something.
83.3.
Oh, but
That's
that's right,
with
we had
the
to put the
cameras,
cameras, yep, with the cameras in, it was 83.3. So that one, I don't know if we want to formally approve it, being it, I mean, you guys gave the approval.
I think all we really approved was the bus bird, we probably should do for the cameras.
Okay,
You know, cause you had it in the budget for that 80 for the bus, but we really didn't do anything with the cameras, so. I think all we really need to approve is the camera purchase.
okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the cameras on the bus.
I'll second.
By Lori? Amy, go
Wrong.
ahead. Rob?
Should be there.
We need to
Aye.
switch just to mess her up.
Been a long week. Chad?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Brent?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Brett?
Yes.
Okay.
and in our summer projects, we're scheduling the rooms to be painted. And then, as Melissa mentioned, the GNR controls, we've got that, and they'll be scheduling that this fall. We have the 2 projects that need final approval. We've got the tile in the restrooms. We had 2 bids put in, or 2 quotes, and the one from Home Design was quite a bit cheaper. The other one was around 13,000, and Home Design was about 3,500 for the product and 4,500 for install, so. That would be the committee's recommendation, that we go with them and have them finish out the tile in that restroom, the restrooms that are left. And then we got 2 quotes from Bruce Nielsen Construction regarding the out front. The first one was I didn't send this one because we talked about just concrete, and we weren't real thrilled about that, but that was $17,666. In order to put color and stamping that concrete, total came up to $25,134. And the board recommends that or the committee recommends that's what we do.
Does the 25 need to go to bids, or do we change our bid amount?
The bid amount's been changed.
I mean,
don't know
to have to ask for bids, that's what I'm asking.
I don't think we do.
Okay,
I think it moved up to like 50.
Yeah, it moved up
I think it moved, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
I
thought.
don't know if that doesn't kick into maybe July though.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't know. Like it,
Yep.
what was the number before?
38 was the landscaping.
That was with landscaping and,
30 something was, was it?
that was, but we're still
So
gonna be
there'd
doing,
no landscaping against the building, it'd be
Yep.
cement right to the building, and then,
Colored.
well, Mike, and then there's an add-on with the curb going.
Yeah,
around.
the 1,500, let's see, what was it, 1155 for putting a border on it, concrete border around.
Outside the,
like a curbing,
outside.
yeah.
Around the.
The outside of the.
Be on the
building.
south
where the
part,
trees-
south
yeah,
side of
trees
it.
are there. Before we pave that, or cement
That is
that
a
through,
landscaping mound, not a lump.
and then we would have to still do something with the,
So Mike, it's
Mom.
2,500 plus,
plus the 15 is what you're saying.
right?
25,000, yeah, plus the 1,155.
Yeah.
Yep, that would be extra if we wanted to put that border on. Yep,
Did he check with anybody else, or we just got one number?
this is all we got. Because he wanted to find out what it would cost
Right,
to
which we-
stamp
yeah.
and color it. So if you want other bids, we're gonna be
One
into
of the only
July.
other guys, but he was all the way out in,
Oh, yeah, we had
Minnesota.
one call that,
That
and,
was,
yeah.
was interested in it.
He
Did
called
anybody
different
talk-
places, nobody
anybody
really
talk to
responded.
Sonny?
The one that was gonna give him a bid was from, they were out in Perham that night, so he didn't tell him he had to drive out, cause he wasn't sure what we really wanted. So,
Did he talk to Sonny at all, or?
that I couldn't tell you, I'm not sure who
Okay.
we talked to.
Do you know the color in the stamp? Or are you leaving that up to some committee?
Leave that up to you guys.
You're the building
Oh,
committee.
the top is-
Just, I mean, you're not gonna color it concrete color, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
So I mean, we're gonna have, cause I know Bruce doesn't have stamps, so he's gonna have to go either rent or whatever. I know Sonny's got stamps.
and that's the-
I don't know, should we pursue more bids on that, you think?
I'm just asking if you guys did, or if they did, or, I
The
mean,
price of concrete's gone down in Jamestown. I don't know if that matters to anybody. I mean, cause,
well, I know last time,
It's
I
usually
mean,
has.
it depends who get it. I know some of this that came out here came way out of Oaks. I mean, they weren't even getting it out of Jamestown or Valley. Some of this came out of Oaks when they did it last year.
does Dunwoody do it in Jamestown anymore? Do you know?
Well, he does
Dunwoody
some,
Construction does, he does, doesn't he? Cause he stamped my house.
he did some last year, he did some stuff.
But Dunwoody Construction would be one.
Just a question, if you guys in the I wasn't to the building, so I don't know if
You
you
went
guys
and
want.
talked to 3 or 4 people already. I mean, how many do you want me to go talk to?
I mean, did you get a number, or you just talked to him, did you get any rough idea?
The one gave a rough estimate, but that was landscaping, it wasn't
Right,
just the
right.
concrete.
It was concrete.
Yeah, it was
and,
a-
But now that you got, you must have a drawing of what you guys are doing, so now somebody else could bid it, cause they know what they're putting out there, or how big or whatever. Kinda hard to do it when we didn't have a plan, you know, it's really tough.
Okay, then, well, we can do that, but then know that it'll look like this next year at this time. too.
Yeah, that's the problem. If we wait
You're
and do
gonna put
another
it
bid,
off.
it's gonna be June before we can.
Well, my
discuss
question
it.
is, if we're okay with this number, they can quick get another bid if it's, we can approve up to a certain number, and then they can make a call and move on. It shouldn't take that long to get one of the local guys to throw another number at us. Well, if they got a plan, and if we could approve, we would spend up to this amount of dollars. The other one comes in higher or whatever, this one comes there, if that's what you're comfortable with. We wouldn't have to wait a month. It could be done in a week or so. Just a thought, I mean, you guys make the. Are we okay with this number? I guess that's where we should start. Are we looking at spending 25 on patio concrete?
I would way rather spend 25,000 than have to replace a window when a rock goes through it this summer
Okay.
when they're lawn mowing.
We still need to get it done.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right, exactly, right. And maybe nothing will happen, those windows just seem like they're itching to be broke, but, or chipped at least.
I've already had one.
Oh,
yeah.
One went this,
That's why we're.
last year,
Last
last
fall.
year, last fall.
oh, that's right,
Yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, let's not do that again. I'll make a motion that we go with this, with the stamping and the edging.
Okay.
With, is it Bruce, what, I don't remember who said.
Nielsen, Bruce
Nielsen.
Nielsen's on
And then we can at least discuss it if we get a second, if you want.
Well, then we'd be coming back, you
Yeah.
know, if you get another bid.
Yeah.
My thought is if we just bid a number and give the guy a week, if he doesn't get another, if we don't get another number, we go with this one. If we, you know, you can't go let him sit forever, but it might be okay to get another shot with another number. But no, we wanna get it scheduled, so you ain't gonna wanna go more than a week out, so.
I guess we could okay, I would probably go with okay in that. You can make a call or two, but.
Yeah, and if nothing comes back, there you are.
Or what do
You,
you call and ask them? Say, we got $25,000
No.
to spend, what are you gonna?
no, you've got a drawing, you must have a drawing what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I've sent that to everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, you say, here, we've got a drawing, are you interested? If they say no, okay, they're not interested,
But
but,
did they send them out already and they didn't answer, or?
no, I don't think he sent out.
He
to
sent
anybody.
some, he sent one, I know he sent the one to Fargo. And he didn't get any response on the one, and then he sent the one, he talked to the guy in Perham,
Yeah.
that was out in Perham that day, and the other guy wasn't even interested.
I mean, you just touch base, if they tell you no, then we're fine, if we put a number to it and we got a day or so and we can check. It just would, you know what happened with the roof, we had a number and we called one more person and got for half the money. So it maybe just keeps them honest, see what the number is, they're not interested, they're not interested.
Okay, I'll withdraw my motion, and then you guys can throw something else on the table.
I thought that was your motion.
No, my motion was just to go with this and get it done, but I'm withdrawing my motion. So if you guys,
So I make the motion to put a $25,000,
The 25,134.
$134.50.
that price as the max bid that we will, and then have Bud call a few people and see what they can do.
Okay, is there a second to that?
wait, before you,
Okay,
put a time limit on it too, on your
Uh,
motion.
By next Wednesday,
Okay, here you go.
I'll second that.
okay, second to that.
Who was,
Chad is the,
Michelle.
and Michelle with the second.
I can't tell between you two, so.
You're,
That is
you're
such
not
a
gonna
huge compliment. Sorry, my dear.
Somebody's saying one on
We're
writing.
practically twins.
I thought she meant you and Chad.
So you got that going.
Okay,
From now on, one of you sits over here.
okay, roll call, Amy.
Chad.
yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
Cindy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Brent.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Brett.
Yes.
So when he calls, what color and what stamp? Cause we don't need to.
'Cause
have
once we
another
decide,
meeting-
we gotta
don't need
do-
to have another meeting and then come back to the board meeting,
Pink.
and then you
is
say,
my
well,
favorite color.
maybe we could
Pink
do
and
this then,
purple.
maybe we could do that.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
any
I think
recommendation?
like a
on-
darker,
Blue.
I think a darker gray, like, or gray on our building or something.
Is that
Or
a
darker
brick
green,
color?
not
I think you want more of a red or brick color, otherwise it's gonna look just like concrete.
The brick.
Yeah.
I meant red.
Yeah, okay. Red, silver, okay.
I meant
Well, that
gray
color
and red.
concrete looks like concrete.
Dye that gray color, gray and stamp that paper.
But you want it stamped like wood?
I like brick.
Like brick.
Well,
Wood plank or brick?
I think brick, we're gonna go red.
Yeah, brick or stone or something,
Yeah.
because we got rocks out there, I think brick or
Yeah.
some of
stone.
that cobblestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might
Yeah.
work too, cobblestone.
Because we got
Nothing.
rocks there, brick there, it's gonna have that kind of look.
Nothing.
Okay, then I think Mike should make the decision when he looks at that brick stamp and he'll decide.
Nothing too deep, cause I think.
Which mic are we talking about?
Please.
Oh, okay.
Match the brick, and we'll have a brick or rock type look out there, cobblestone.
We'll let you make the decision, then we'll complain about it when you're,
That wouldn't surprise me.
He's usually quiet.
Okay,
So you better approve the tile, though.
yep.
Yeah, we better approve.
The other thing we just didn't talk about, we're okay with the border, but this was 25 for just the stamping for the concrete, then you have that border was another,
Yeah, and that you can decide. I mean,
Yeah.
that's up to you.
that can be done later too, that's not a,
I mean, no, because they're gonna, we wanna do it all at the same time, is what I'm saying.
If Bruce gets bid, then.
But if
he'll
somebody
be-
else
But if someone else doesn't do that-
If they have a different idea, maybe that,
Yeah.
you know, so, I mean, I would say that the border is extra, just that,
Yep, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
have them ask about the border too. She's on the guy.
tell them just what they wanna do, yep.
Cause to come in at 20,000, attend the board is 6,000.
Yeah. Okay, so the tile, we've got the low bid there with Home Design, your recommendation is take Home Design, we do have a couple bids on that one, so.
We'll make a motion to approve the tile, have it installed.
That covers all the rest of the bathrooms, right?
I'll
Yep.
second.
No, it does not cover the,
Just
Here.
these,
This,
not the locker rooms and
not the
No.
locker rooms, but it does cover the staff one and
Yeah.
this one here.
Okay.
Home
And,
design or
and
valley
the
floor?
little
Home
ones.
Design, no.
And the family.
What does the hallways?
No, yeah, it does those two and this one and,
Oh, is that what it's called now?
and the one in our,
Valley
by
floor
my
is
office.
just-
Oh, I didn't know it did that one. It's
Yeah.
just the
It says
locker rooms
valley
that
floor.
don't.
Locker rooms are not gonna be done, yeah, and the kitchen. Kitchen was on there.
Yeah, it's Home Design now. Okay,
Used to be kitchen saw, they changed their name.
yeah, what's the total on Home Design for our motion?
Well, it was,
Is it the
yeah, it'd be the,
77, 67, 37?
well, that would be the install, and then if they take these others off, that would be what they told us it was gonna be. The install is different, because this is a different building.
Okay.
Piping up there.
Do we need a number for it, Amy, or no?
We should, but I don't know what it's gonna be. I mean,
We should have a number.
Cause he said the install is gonna be 4,300, and Bud said to take these off, so it ends up 3467, and the install was 4,300 is what he said he would do it for.
Okay, so let's have that
77,
motion.
67,
For
37?
77, 67,
37.
37. That's what our bid is from Home Design.
That is what Mr. Fair said in his motion, I
Yep.
heard.
Okay? Is there a second to that
Yeah,
number
I
for
did.
Lori? Okay, Amy, roll call.
Chad,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Lori,
Yep.
Brent,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes,
Lee,
Yes.
Brett.
Sure.
approved. Anything else from Building and Grounds?
Nope.
Okay. Budget, did you run the?
Yep.
We got it from our meeting last night, I guess. We're gonna talk about some other stuff down below with staffing and all that, but we kinda looked at some different scenarios last night. Realistically, we played the numbers, the state's looking at giving us about a right, Mike, about 2%?
2%,
On
yeah.
foundation aid and stuff. We ran it through with everything, with transportation and the stuff we were getting from the state. Looks like we're gonna get about 6,000 less than we did last year overall for those items from the state. We looked at some different scenarios, we'll talk later, but pretty much in a nutshell, the budget and finance think we could fund whichever scenario you want for staffing issues. We think we can make that work, whatever we come up with there, so. And here's your notes from it, but everything else we'll talk about is gonna work under staffing, but budget and finance recommendation, we can make whatever you guys decide, we can make it work. So, anything you wanna add to that, Mike, or?
Nope, I think that's good, cause we'll do everything under staffing.
Okay. Curriculum committee, they meet?
No, we didn't.
No.
No.
Foundation, we haven't met anymore. Mr. Wilson, K-12, principal report.
Just a few things. Graduation on the 26th. We have our 7-12 award presentation Thursday, May 23rd at 11:15. It'll be after graduation practice. K-6 award presentations will be Thursday, May 23rd at 2 p.m. And then the senior trip is on May 22nd. Bud and I are taking the students to Fargo.
What are you doing in Fargo?
They're doing, escape room, and then there's this, Nerf gun place
Okay.
or whatnot that they're looking at doing, and then going to the mall and eating and spending some time up there. That's all
Sounds like fun for you.
I got. Well, they were short a chaperone, and it was like, do you think it's too many for, Bud? I was like, well,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I said, well, I'll go. You know, I know Mr. Samuelson usually does it, but I was like, you know, it'll be a good opportunity for me to go with him. So,
I have a question. You had, staff in service the other day, last week.
last.
Title I.
Title I.
Oh, Title
Okay,
I,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you presented us, or them, on that, long-range plan type thing?
Yeah,
And then
the
there was a
can-
survey they had. Is that something that you could share with us, the whole board at some time?
Yeah, I don't have it.
No, not for
with me
right now,
yet.
but
No,
no.
no, yeah, yep, because I can get that, I think I still have the email. If not, I can get that from Mrs. Anderson.
Because I think that'd be good for everybody,
Yeah.
because they had a survey that the title gals had did, and that would be good to everybody see. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Mr. Wilson. Superintendent report, anything else to add?
Nothing really, no, just graduation and reminder that the board election is coming up 4th, and then we'll have a special meeting on the 10th and our regular meeting on the 19th next month.
Okay, the old biz, we got Bert.
Yeah, we just had a meeting
Update.
today. I don't know if Mr. Wilson got anything else, but we met today just to kind of update, and we're looking at next fall to do an evacuation drill and get everything squared away. We're using Gassetti's as our, if we're going west, we would go to Gassetti's shop, and if we're going east, they've changed it now. It looks like we're gonna be visiting with another place to go.
Okay.
We went away from the North Central School.
Okay. Great.
So then to just add on, next year at the beginning of the school year, those first 8 days of school, we'll be practicing all of our drills. And then, sometime before, was it October 16th?
Yep, they wanna do, yep.
Doing a full, run-through for our school evacuation. But how we're gonna do it is we're just gonna, request 10 to 15 parent volunteers to come and go through the whole actual process of checking in their kids. That way we can kind of keep it down to a half a day thing and then still get school in as well on there, rather than having everybody have to come through there, because if it's a practice drill, I don't think we would get 100% of the people to come and do it and leave work just for a practice drill. When we went and visited the West Fargo one, they just kept their 4th grade class at the facility and sent everybody else back to the school. And they only had one parent who actually came, but they just still simulated with those other students and having helpers pretend that they're the parents to go through their check-in and check-out process. So I figured it would be a lot easier to find 10 or 15 volunteer parents to come in and go through that process, just so that we can have an idea of what it would actually entail.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions on that? Okay, new business, we got staff resignations.
Dear Mr. Severson, please accept my official resignation from my position as 3rd grade teacher at Barnes County North School. My last day will be May 24, 2019. After much contemplation, I have made the decision to focus my attention and time on the needs of our family farm. I've enjoyed my time here and am honored to have had the chance to touch the lives of so many children. It has been as much a pleasure to learn from them as it has been to teach them. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I will miss the great number of personal connections that I have made over the past 20-plus years. Please accept my gratitude for helping to make my time at Barnes County North School so rewarding. I wish you and the school district all the best. Sincerely yours, Jerry Haugen. So do you want to approve them one at a time?
I think we'll approve
Okay.
one at a time. We'll need a motion to approve or accept that
Accept.
resignation. You got-
I'll second it.
Second by Chad. Roll call, Amy?
Chad,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Brett.
Yes.
Okay.
To Mr. J.R. Wilson, please accept this letter as my official resignation from my position as 3rd grade teacher for Barnes County North Elementary. I will complete the school year with the same commitment as I have had during my time here at BCN. After a lot of contemplation, I made the decision to focus my attention on my family and alternative opportunities to work within our chiropractic clinic in Valley City. I appreciate the opportunities that have been given to me at this school. Although I will miss the position, my colleagues in the school community, I'm thankful for the chance to touch so many students' lives so many different ways these last 3 years. I worked hard my last couple of weeks of employment to complete all the required paperwork and duties assigned to me. I'm happy to assist in making the transition as seamless as I can. Please let me know if you need additional information, if there are any questions by phone or email. Thank you, Breanne Fell.
Okay, we would need a motion to accept that resignation.
So
I'll make
moved.
I'll
Brent?
second.
Second by Michelle. Brent. Roll call.
Chad,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Lori, Brent,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Brett.
Yes,
You will recognize or thank you or all that in with those. Thank them for their time and everything.
One more.
Oh, you got one more?
Yeah. Dear Mr. Severson and BCN Board, as letters of intent have not been distributed for this coming school year, I would like to let you know that I will not be returning to Barnes County North for the 2019-2020 school year. Thank you for the opportunity I've had to work here. It has been truly eye-opening learning experience. Ainsley Rhinefleisch.
Okay. We have one more. Need a motion to accept that resignation.
motion.
Brett, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Michelle? Roll call. Amy?
Chad,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yep.
Cindy,
Yes.
Lori,
Yep.
Brent,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Brett.
Yes,
Then we have teacher contract.
And that would be for Daniel Tomaszewski. He will be doing the K-12 Phi-Ed position. He's indicated interest in football coach. We met with Valley City. Mr. Rorick was very comfortable with Daniel. He has visited with Bud. He's got the materials to take his bus license test. So he will be our, as long as you guys are okay with that, he'll be our football coach from the school. And then, once he gets his license, he'll be the one that'll transport. And his
So-
contract is, he's a first-year teacher, so he's at 41,000.
So how are you gonna write that since we're in negotiations? What do you put on that contract?
He already he signed it already, it's the 41,000. And then we'll just amend it when.
But it'll say something on there that adjusts to the new schedule, or what, do we have to say anything there?
I never have.
Okay,
We
okay.
just
Just a
amend it
question.
once. Yeah, we just
Just a
amend it once
Okay.
once the negotiations are done.
Okay.
And he's doing K6 PE?
Yeah, that, and then when we talked, and, cause a couple of them had questions on if, they had interest in doing any of the high school, I said, yeah, that would be able to be worked out between you and Mrs. Albright, that if she wanted to go back with some of the elementary. they'd
So
be
on
able-
paper, is it
On
say
paper for
K6 or
next
just
year,
say
it's case, or,
K-12.
K12 or is
well,
it?
He'll be K-12.
Okay, so
We'll
it's
have
gonna
him
say
listed as
K-12.
It's gonna say
Yeah, I wasn't
So
sure
that's
what
your
the contract
scheduling-
would say.
that's your
But
scheduling thing
As
that-
scheduling, it's K-6 is what he, or preschool to sixth grade is
Right.
what he's doing.
But the contract will say K-12.
K-12, yeah.
Okay.
The contract
No, this is a
actually just
teacher,
says
this is a
teacher.
teacher. and
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
gotcha.
We don't,
Okay.
They're generic.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Mike, we pay him for being a coach, right?
yes, yep, and that'd be the assistant coach, be $3,300.
Correct. And what's the?
Daniel Tomaszewski.
Thomas Shesky, okay.
Daniel, Dan.
Okay, we need a motion to accept that contract.
I so moved.
I'll second.
Second by Cindy. Roll call, Amy?
Chad,
Yep.
Michelle,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Lori,
Yep.
Brent,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Brett.
yes,
Okay, that's approved. Non-certified staff discussion, we talked a little bit about that at Budget and Finance, and we wanna meet with, at least sit down and talk to the non-certified staff, but we're gonna have a deadline that will have we need it to be approved at the next board meeting, so we're gonna table it till next board meeting, but we will get together with them. Cause then it'd be set so Amy can get it programmed in for the start of the
Start
new
of
year, July 1.
Yeah.
So we'll table that till next one. Then we have correspondence, board discussion. We did have the thank you there, we recognized. Anything else under board discussion before we go to negotiations?
I just wanted to ask something real quick. As far as, how do we determine with extracurricular activities when alerts go out and when they don't? When there's changes in schedules?
Such as,
So in the wintertime, if a basketball game is canceled, yes,
I
Melissa?
can give you a little input,
Okay,
because if it gets changed, Dell will change it on that master calendar on our website, and that's powered by a solution called Our School Today. And so I've sent out an email to parents, but it's something that I probably should send out again, that you can actually sign up for those notifications when games get changed. You'll see on the master calendar when things get changed, so
'Cause-
I get the same thing from LA City, if baseball games get changed, then I get a text, an email, anytime something's made change to the calendar. But
Just 'cause like this year with track, it was all over the place with meets getting dropped the day before, the day of. And there was absolutely no communication between the school and parents. So the coaches would tell the students, and if you are lucky to have a student that comes home and gives you all the details, but I'm not so lucky.
It's only as good as the communication, and even like if it doesn't make the master calendar in the office, then Deb doesn't make that change, and that doesn't,
'Cause like
And part of that,
Fridays,
part of that is with David being out of the system, I don't think we really had anybody in, like Nate or Stacy or Allison was designated to do that, and I think that's a good point. We'll just have to tell them, if something's gonna change, you need to make sure that we get it to Deb, she gets on the calendar, and then it can go out.
'cause like the weekly newsletter goes out Friday,
Yep,
and there was many times, even like this week, Monday, it shows the track meet was at Concordia, it was in Valley City. I mean, there was
Yeah.
literally days, I didn't know until the kids got on the bus where I was going or what time.
and that's happened just because of the uniqueness of the year or two, but yeah, we'll just work on that. That's something that we can make sure the coaches get
Yeah,
on
cause I know on some of them, the coaches didn't know until
the day of.
the day
morning
of or the morning of, because I know Mr. Purcell and Mr. Schaefer both coming to me, hey, it's late, but we just got this track meet.
So that's the dilemma, then it's gotta get to the parents somehow.
Yeah, when it's changing that day, we need
Probably
some
just
sort
put it
of,
on the calling network.
It's gotta, that's where I think where she's saying, that may
Yeah.
be something that should go on the alert.
And
so
that,
we
and
can
that,
get-
yeah, that's something we just gotta make sure that.
Cause you're gonna have
we
parents
got
going,
somebody
if you're
that's
going to the wrong
responsible.
place or whatever, they're working off a different calendar.
Yeah, and we just gotta have somebody that, cause I don't think that was really clearly defined, so that's just something we need to, if we don't have that head coach in the system, we gotta make sure that one of the ones in the system is responsible for getting that information to Deb or whoever and getting the
Yeah.
call out,
and
so,
hopefully with the weather next year, we won't have.
yeah, we won't have those issues.
You're gonna
But that's
have
a
it
good
with
point.
track no matter
No
what spring
matter,
you
it's
got.
happened every year.
Every year.
But it
That's
won't be
good.
quite as bad as we're hoping,
I
that's it.
have the same thing with baseball down at
Yeah.
Valley City, it's.
But there's gotta be some way to get that quick change to the parents.
Yep.
Yep.
And we'll just make sure we got somebody designated to do that, cause that's just something that we didn't,
Yeah.
just didn't, I mean, it was one, like I said, one of those years, and we didn't get it done, so, yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that.
Anybody else have anything else, discussion wise?
Are we doing with any of the staffing that we talked about last night, are we? No?
Where is that at? And just that we-
Flip on
Well, it was on when we did
It was
the
under
negotiation, see, the staffing that you were talking about was on the agenda, on the budget and finance agenda.
Oh, yeah, cause we
So we
need to talk
could've-
about that, yeah,
We
we
could
need to talk.
probably, instead of, we
Yeah.
probably should have done it under budget and finance.
Okay, well, we,
So,
we'll put it here under other, we'll hit that right now, staffing, that's where we wanna go with.
Yep.
We wanna do
In the other category.
in the other category.
So on the backside of your,
that's the notes.
That's the notes we have, if you, we sent out, but I don't know if you got them, because we just met last night, but here's all the notes from our budget and finance meeting. So realistically, you go over it, you were gonna do some talking with some staff today.
Yep,
And so that that come out, we thought budget finance, we would like to see that pre-K
40.
4 days.
Yep.
That's what we recommended from our budget and finance meeting.
Yep.
And that's
That'll be one position that'll be open, and the
Yep.
third grade position.
in the third grade position to be open.
Okay, when you say open, does that
And
mean
then-
staff within the building can also apply, like in the past, or?
Yes.
Is
all.
that what that means?
Yes.
Yeah, we've talked to a couple of them, and, yeah, we'll communicate that with the rest of them now that we've got the accepted resignations. We had visited with two that had affected, that had interest in before, so.
Okay, and then we also talked about, you can see that we've talked about opening a position for elementary principal. And we are, as a budget and finance, we think we can handle that, we can do that. It would restructure and focus everybody a little bit more, different areas. JR will have a little different focus, everybody would have a little different focus, but it's your call on the board if that's where you wanna go. We are saying we can handle that financially from budget and finance. So what we're looking to do, or I think where we wanna be at right now, is what positions we wanna open. Right now, we're doing a pre-K, a third grade. What's the other one?
High
How
school
you-
English?
Just
Well, now, high school English will be
Yes.
added to it, yes.
And then, do we want to open a elementary principal position?
Cause that we're gonna have
Right.
to share with, we have that.
With
Well,
the
we could
reading,
either- you could tie
reading
it
specialist.
For the,
Yeah, we could tie it somewhere to reading strategist.
That's what we talked about
Any, you
there,
know,
but-
anything like that that we've got, you know,
yeah,
that
cause
would,
it would tie in with one of the other open
Mhm.
positions to some.
Cause we would advertise as an elementary principal with other
halftime elementary
duties.
principal, halftime.
I think we talked about last night,
Yeah.
was doing just elementary principal with other duties,
Yeah.
and see what kind of applications we would get. So then, what we're looking at is kind of a, if it needs to be a motion or a consensus of what positions we are going to open.
I agree with you, the four that you mentioned, the pre-K position, the third grade position, the high school English position, and the elementary principal position, I think is something that will need to be filled, so,
Okay.
at least advertise.
Do we need would you rather have a motion with that, Mr. Severson, or just a?
We
I
can
think
open it, I mean, we can, it doesn't.
I think we'd take a motion.
Okay.
You'd make that motion,
I'll make that
Chad?
motion.
I will second that one.
Second by Michelle. Any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Chad,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Brett.
Yes,
Okay.
it's multitasking.
Not very well, yeah.
Just
there-
getting up to speed on it.
Okay, so those will get advertised, opened up. Anything else we have before we'll talk about negotiations update, and we'll probably go to executive session for that. Anything else before? Seeing none, do you have our motion that we need to go to by century code? Amy?
You have to actually adjourn the regular
Yes.
meetings
Yes.
first,
First? Okay, we'll
We
adjourn.
did it after.
because we have
The-
to clear the room.
Yeah.
It is.
We'll adjourn the regular, recess the regular board meeting, because we have to come back to adjourn, yes. We're gonna recess the regular meeting and look to go to executive session for negotiations. So we're recessed at 7:46.
And by the way, the reason we don't have high school English on there is because.
We just got it this morning.
Yeah.
So.
We just got it this morning.
Yeah, that's not part of this little synopsis.
And we're funding high